Welcome back. Go ahead, grab your drink, grab whatever else it is that you do, and let's get into Love After Lockup, Season 3, Episode 37. So the show opens up with Rachel calling the parole office to confirm the terms and conditions of Doug's release. And he can be out on weekdays between the hours of 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. and no time out on the weekends. I think it sounds bad, but they do that because there's so much recklessness that happens over the weekend, and I bet it's a lot easier to get into trouble versus on weekdays when there's not a lot of people out. Adults have to go to work and get up early, and if you have kids, handle that, and all the other things that come along with life. So I don't think it's that bad. And so Rachel's making sure that she has everything together for Doug's arrival. She has sent Dougie to her mom's house so that she can be fast with Doug. Gonna do what grown folks do. And after she packs everything into the car, she's on her way to see him. And Doug calls, and once again, he's extremely aggressive. And like I said before, I think that he's upset about his situation, and he's just taking it out on someone. And she tells him what the terms of his release are, and he's upset about it, and he's saying that he wants a different probation officer. And she sort of reminds him that you may want a new probation officer, but what if you get someone who's even worse? So you might just have to do the stipulations, commit to the stipulations, and then once you're done, you're done. I don't know how many years on probation he has, but, I mean, if it's only a couple of years, it shouldn't be that bad. He just did 11, 12 years behind bars. I mean, that's longer than some people stay married. So, yeah, he'll be fine. And also, did you guys notice that they keep on flashing the tattoo that Rachel has on her arm that says Douglas? I wonder, does he have her name tattooed anywhere right now? Because he is covered in prison tattoos. But what do I know? A man she's never really been on the outside with, and she's got him tatted on her for life. Once again, what do I know? So anyways, we go to Brittany, and Brittany's getting ready for Ray's release. She's packing him some items. I guess she's maybe getting him some clothes, some shoes, socks, whatever. And she also has a cell phone for him, and she says that she expects to be in constant communication because that's what they were doing while he was behind bars. And I think that may not go too well for her because when you're in jail, because I've never been in jail, so I don't know this for sure, but from what I know, when people go to jail, they ain't got nothing but time, and they have nothing to do but to fill you up with false hope and tell you false promises. So I hope that she's not really thinking that's going to happen, but it seems like she is. And so she drives to meet Ray's parents for the first time, and she's shocked when she pulls up. She was under the impression that he grew up in the hood and around the wrong environment, so she was probably expecting to hear gunshots, to see a bunch of people outside on the stoop, not even probably be a house, but to be apartments. But they actually had a pretty nice home, and she was shook when she pulled up. And she's concerned with what they'll think about her because she wants to move fast, meaning she wants to get married and have a baby fairly soon. And this is because of her age. Once again, she's 33 and she feels like time is running out, which, I understand where she's saying with that. But as far as having a baby, as women, we do have a biological clock, and once, like she said, the eggs are dried out, we're done. So I understand her in that point of view, but I also wouldn't want her to have a baby just to have a baby with just anybody, So hopefully she doesn't rush it too much, but I could see her trying to get knocked up pretty quick. So then we cut to Deontay and Nicole, and they are leaving the prison finally. And as they're driving away, he tells her that he has something in the back seat for her. She reaches back and pulls out a bag with some watches, and she's excited about that. She's happy about that. And, he's like, money's not a thing, anything for you. And then she goes deeper in the bag, and she pulls out some lingerie. And she's not too happy about this because I guess they've had the discussion that there will not be any intimacy, no sex or anything. As soon as she gets out, she wants to wait because she's been behind bars for too long and she just doesn't want anyone touching her. It makes her uncomfortable. I get it. I've never been behind bars, but I'm like that too with my personal space. I do not like to be touched unless I'm aware of it. So I get it. So then we go to Courtney and Josh, and they're obviously in the afterglow of being intimate. They're laying in the bed, whispering sweet nothings to one another, just having a good moment, first morning together type deal. And as they're laying there talking, Josh suggests that they cook dinner together. And so they make steak and some sides, I guess. And they sit down at this long table, and they're sitting at opposite ends. And I don't know, maybe it was just me, but I felt like that was kind of strange for them to be sitting for so far apart. It kind of seemed like they were maybe trying to do what they used to do back in the day with kings and queens and have them sit on opposite ends. Which, I mean, if that's the case, I can dig it. That's pretty cool. No shade over here. So as they're eating dinner, they discuss the struggles that Courtney had to go through in order for them to be where they're at. She had to go to jail for 60 days. She's on probation for 2 years. She lost her job, a good job, I guess, that she was ranking up quickly. She lost it all for him. And I don't know. I guess I'm kind of tired of hearing about this every single episode, but I guess she has to reiterate to him everything that she lost. So go off, sis. And so we go to the confessional, and she's just crying about it, and she's saying how she lost everything for him. And you know what? I'm glad that we are in this confessional because we were finally able to see some actual tears streaming down her cheeks. I've said it before, and I'm saying it again. She's just been doing like the face and the voice of crying. I ain't seen no tears. I've not seen any tears. And so as they're talking at the table, we learn that Courtney's had a rough past and she was assaulted as a child, and that's awful. I don't know anything about that. Personally, I've never experienced anything like that, thank the Lord. So that must be awful to be violated in just such a way, especially as a child, and you don't have any control over the situation. So my heart goes out to her. That was sad, and I'm so sorry that happened to her. That's so unfair. That is so unfair. But he makes her some promises, and he says that he's going to work and he's going to make sure that he contributes and make sure that they can maintain the life that she's put together for them. And she just says that she's got her eye on him. She's going to make sure that he can prove it, and it's not just lip service. And I like that part about her, because you could say anything, it's about that action. So then we go back to Rachel, who's getting ready to pick up Doug, and he requested her to wear a conservative outfit and no panties. Pause. That's kind of odd, and it sounds like he might have a fetish, and that could be why he's so aggressive. It's like he's wanting a type of relationship from the 50s or something, where back then it was okay to come home from work and beat your wife and eat dinner. Like, that's what it seems like to me. It seems like he could get aggressive physically, but let me not put that on him because I don't know him. So anyways, he finally gets released from jail, and they're happy to see each other, hugging, touching, kissing, all that extra stuff. And so we get to learn a little bit more about Doug, and Doug tells us how he grew up with a lot of siblings, and he had to do what he had to do to have some extra coins. And so in order for him to have those coins, he turned to a life of crime. And I understand that he felt like he had to do something in order for him to have just some extra money, because they were able to provide everything for him. But as far as any type of additional luxury, that was hard to come by, especially when there were so many siblings. I don't think he said how many siblings that he had, but I understand him on that point. But it just sucks that him trying to just go out and do it for himself and to figure it out, that he turned to crime, because him doing that crime gave him 171 months in prison, and he was 17. And I wonder why he just didn't go get a regular job. Like I remember when I was like 17, I had to work at the mall because I needed the extra money. But I don't know his situation. I don't know how he grew up. I don't know the household he was in or his environment or influences. So maybe that's all he knew. So after he was sentenced to prison for 171 months, he was only out for 40 days, and he went back for a drive-by. Apparently, he was just in the wrong place at the wrong time, and I guess people were there that were able to place him at the scene. He says he didn't do anything, but I guess there's witnesses that were willing to testify against him, so he was back in jail. So then she takes him to the trunk of the car and she shows him a log of bologna, and he opens it up and he has some. And I'm not too sure the significance of the bologna. I'm not sure if that was just a staple when he was growing up and it's just his favorite thing, or if, I don't know. That has to be it, because I don't know who just eats bologna. I don't. Well, no. Well, if it's thinly sliced like they do at Mr. Goodson's, then yeah, but like just thick bologna, nah, not in my adulthood. In childhood, yeah, a bologna sandwich with some ketchup on it was bomb. After a day out of playing all day, the summertime when you be out all day long, only come back for water and lunch and dinner. Good times. I'm getting off track. But anyways, they drive off and we're done with them. So then we get to my homie Stan. Big Stan. I don't know what it is about Stan, but I like him for some reason. And Stan's friend Dash comes over with what looks like some food. I think they're about to barbecue or something based on the foil pan that he had. And Dash is waiting for him at the kitchen table, and Stan comes downstairs with all the wigs that he got for Lisa. Why he did that, I don't know. I guess he just wanted his good friend to see, like, yeah, look at what I'm doing. She says she looked like a dude, but I got her. And Dash, has to roast him a little bit and talking about how the wigs are old people wigs and stuff. And, just have a little friendly banter. And then as this is going on, Lisa just so happens to call, and Stan tells her that he's getting ready to come see her, and then he asks about her brother, and she says that it's probably the best that her brother stay in jail so that he can sober up. And I wonder what changed her mind, because on last week's episode, she was thinking that Stan was going to give her $30,000 and saying that he just needed to go to rehab. He didn't need to be behind bars. So I wonder if her and Stan had a conversation, or if she had time to think about it and realize that he does need to sit. But whatever brought her to that conclusion, I'm happy that she's not on Stan's case about that $30,000. But anyways, Lisa mentions in the conversation that she doesn't know what name to go by because she's married to 2 men, maybe. And child, how do you not know if you're married to 2 men? Were you that deep out in these streets that you have no idea what was going on? Sis, homie. Let me shut up, because Lisa obviously is just doing the damn thing. I'm trying to be like Lisa because she's got 2 men apparently, and she don't even know if she's married. Lisa's living her best life, and I'm here for it. So after they end the phone call, Dash is a little concerned because she thinks that Lisa just might be trying to con Stan, and he brings up this hypothesis that maybe Lisa and one of the men that she's married to got together, thought of a plan, and said, hey, remember that rich dude that you were seeing? Yeah, talk to him again so that we can get some money out of him. And I can see how Dash could think that, because that's what it looks like. You're married to 2 men possibly, and you're coming home to Stan. Make it make sense. And I liked how Dash also observed that on the phone call, he didn't hear anything about, I love you, I can't wait to spend time with you, I can't wait to see you, I want to be in your presence. And that was a red flag. And I'm glad that he caught that, because I didn't catch that initially. So, my older homies, Stan and Dash, they're just keeping me on my toes. So then we go back over to Brittany, and Brittany is inside the house now of Ray's family, and she brings them some matching shirts that they can wear to go pick them up, and she brings a few extra for her siblings that are unable to make it. And Brittany's just still stuck on his parents' house because she doesn't understand how they have such a nice home, but Ray's telling her something completely different. Which, I mean, I get it. And she was probably really, really, really expecting just like the slums. And she pulled up to something that was probably nicer than where she lives, because she likes to bring up how she's grew up in privilege, which I'm not buying, but she likes to throw that out there, and then to see him that he actually might be privileged, she shook. So anyways, she gets to meet his grandmother, and she knows that Ray and his grandma have a great relationship, so she definitely has to get on her good side. And Brittany got a rental car for them to drive to pick Ray up, and Ray's dad said that he will drive because he doesn't like anyone driving him around. And if I was Brittany, I would have been happy because I don't like to drive, period. If I can get somebody to chauffeur me around, I'm there for it. I'm the person that orders everything. I will order my groceries. I will order fast food if I'm craving it. I do not like to drive on the highway. That is my least favorite thing. I have to emotionally prepare for it. I have to know exactly where I'm going, and if I am going to have to get on the highway to keep it 100, I'd rather do it early in the morning when there is probably no one around, because truth be told, I'm just not the best driver. Anyways, I'm getting off topic. But yeah, Brittany doesn't like that Ray's father wants to drive, and somehow she's stuck in the back seat with his grandma. And so the grandma takes the opportunity to basically ask her some questions like, how long have y'all known each other? And she says 9 months. And his grandma kind of gives a side eye because 9 months really isn't that long of a time, but I guess, when you know. I don't know. I'm single, so I don't know anything about this stuff. So 9 months doesn't seem like a very long time, but whatever. And so when they pull up to where Ray's supposed to be getting dropped off, they see him pull up in a white van, and he gets out. He kind of glances over at them and smiles a little bit, and then he turns back. I think he went in line or something. He went somewhere, and then he turns back and he gets back into the white van. And they're all confused because they're thinking like, wait, aren't we supposed to pick him up from here? And when he gets back in the van, they stand there for a moment, and then Brittany's like, you know what, we should probably follow him. So they get back into her rental car, and they follow the van. So then we go back to Deontay and Nicole, and they are headed to her mom's house, and she tells him that she's not going to see him later that night because she wants to spend time with her mom. It's her first day out, and, she wants to be somewhere where she's comfortable, which I get it. It's your first day out. I don't think I would want to go to some stranger's house. Although I'm engaged to this person, technically that is a stranger, so I understand her wanting to go to her mom's house because, what if he's a serial killer or something? I would at least want to see my mama first before I'm chopped up. I'm just saying. So he's cool with that. I guess he doesn't have a choice. So they pull up to her mom's house and park, and Deontay's parked the car. I think he took the keys out, starts to unbuckle his seatbelt and open the door, and she's like, you know what, pump your brakes. I'm going to go inside and you're going to go back home. And he's like, wait, what? And she's like, you're going to meet my mom, but I just don't feel like right now is the right time. I just want one-on-one time with her. Which, I don't know. I guess that's the right thing to do, because what if he is a serial killer? You can't have him coming in and hurting your mama. So, good call, Nicole. So she gets out the car, they hug and kiss, and she promises that she'll see him the following day. She goes inside, or she sees her mom, they hug, whatever, and she gets all cleaned up from jail. And then she's laid up in her bed, right? Feet kicked up and everything. And she's texting someone. And you would think it was going to be Deontay, talking about some, I'm so glad we got to finally meet. Thank you for all the money and gifts and the Jordans and all that you got me. Because if y'all watched it, you would see she walked in with a gang of stuff that he had just gotten her. And let's not forget the envelope full of money. So, yeah. But that's not who she's texting. She's texting someone named Zach. And talking about I'm finally out. I'ma see you, pick me up this weekend. And I think that's awful of her to do. She's doing that on this man's dime, on Deontay's dime. If she don't want to be with him or she don't want to talk to him like that, just let him know. Let him go. For real. But I have a feeling that she's about to milk him. She's about to take whatever, or try, because I did see some tea on them. She's going to try to milk him for everything. So let's just watch how this plays out. So then the show closes out with Stan, and Stan is on his way to pick up Lisa. And why does my friend Stan have the wigs on the mannequin heads in the back seat, strapped in with a seatbelt? Stan! Stan's funny without trying to be funny. Stan is just so adorable to me. I don't know why. Even with his off-colored hair. I like Stan. So Stan gets to the corrections facility. He's outside waiting, and he's calling her name, Lisa. And he don't know what she looked like, because, she looks like a boy now. She looked like her brother. So he's just out there waiting. And that's where the episode ends. And that's all I got for right now. I'm almost caught up. We got one more, and then we'll be right back on track. So thanks for listening, and hi, Mom. Bye.